guys, and welcome back to another episode of Change Wired podcast. My name is Angela Shorina. I'm your host, I'm your partner and guide in change, in personal and collective transformation, in learning more about, looking into, exploring, learning about, unlocking more of our human potential to create the most extraordinary life experiences and more positive in the world, more positive impact in the world around us. I'm also a certified, multiple certifications in health, in sleep, stress management, fitness, nutrition, executive coaching, recently self-actualization coaching, which is all about learning how to become everything that you can become in this life. And my personal passion and pursuit, guys, just since I was a kid, I've been fascinated with the untapped potential that keeps unfolding and evolving in us. And I've always been fascinated with this idea that our daily actions and habits and what we choose to do with our time can utterly, like, in a mind-blowing way, transform where we start our lives. Like, I myself, a girl from rural city in the middle of Russian Siberia, now living in South Africa, speaking, working with leaders from all over the world, have lived and worked in 15 countries, right? The choices we make, the decisions we make, how we decide to spend our time, that can be a mind-blowing transformation. And I feel like I'm yet to even tap even a little bit into what I can accomplish. And every day I wake up unsatisfied with the rate of that unfolding. I'm like, how can I be more? Not from a perspective like I'm missing out or I'm not enough, etc. But I feel that there is so much more potential in me. And every day I wake up and try to do my best to unfold it, to unlock it, to become everything I can be, because it's just so amazing to see the whole process and see and watch and observe your journey through life if you choose the journey of growth, of transformation, of becoming more and more of who you were destined to be, with the seed of potential in each and every one of us. That being said, guys, today on this podcast, you're going to learn a simple framework, a simple strategy that will allow you to feel good every day. Like, no matter what stuff happens in our lives, in your day, today, tomorrow, yesterday, we all can have quite a good day every single day if we choose to do certain things. And you're going to learn about what I've learned in almost 20 years of my coaching, working with hundreds of people all around the world. You notice patterns and you see what people do when they feel the most fulfilled, when they have this beautiful mindset and emotional state every day, when they create magic in their lives and lives of others. You start seeing patterns. And then I read a lot of books and I interview people for my podcast and I listen to a lot of podcasts. So I try to feed my mind the best of the best thinking in the world from all corners of the world, from different thought leaders and just leaders and business owners and just extraordinary creatives and people who build these beautiful life experiences. So by the end of this podcast, you'll learn how to cultivate that beautiful inner state, mindset, and your emotions. So again, no matter what happens in your life, you still feel pretty damn good about your life. And I always say that our life is nothing but a collection of days, one day at a time. And if we learn how to experience every single day, no matter what happens, feeling good inside, not like, pumped up and, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. No, just feeling good, content, and satisfied and maybe not happy, but just good that you're living this beautiful life experience instead of feeling like everything is pressuring you and you're stressed out of your mind. And no, I don't want you to meditate the whole day or become a monk of Zen or, reach some unreachable height of self-awareness, actualization, and just, I don't know, being radiating this peacefulness all the time. But what I believe is possible from my experience and working with clients and observing other people is that you can cultivate a sense of well-being that you carry through all of your days. Again, no matter what happens in your days. So let me start with a story and my blog. I write a blog every day. It's going to be linked in the show notes today. So check it out if what you hear today resonates with you. I write every single day, and my aspiration is to be able to do that till the very last day of my life. And my blog is dedicated to the process of change, personal, collective evolution, growth, expanding, and feeling, looking, doing our best. And I wrote a blog a few days ago about what allows me to feel good every day, like no matter what. So reading you from the blog. Every day starts for me the same way. Good sleep, the best I can get. A walk, however short. Movement, a good breakfast. Sunshine, when I can get it. Breathwork and priming, which is a Tony Robbins meditation, which consists of expressing gratitude for what you have, setting blessings to yourself and others, focusing on what I'm building, I'm inspired to create in my life. Then writing and some form of creation, like recording this podcast. And then the rest of the day, I feel in very mindfully with things that feel purposeful. People I care about, learning, exploring, making, creating things, good meals, music, work, purposeful work, meaningful work, time outside, goofing around, reading. I really love reading. Every day, I make sure there is at least one thing I'm genuinely excited about. Like, I want to do this thing. Sometimes it's reading an interesting book or talking to an interesting person or working on delivering this beautiful session to a client, to a group of people. Right? There are different things, but I try to put on my calendar every day something that I'm genuinely excited about. Even though sometimes it's challenging and puts you in a state of excitement, a combination of anxiety and excitement, right? But something that excites my soul, my spirit, like my whole being, makes me feel alive. Every day, I also end with reading, even if it's just 10 minutes. Notebook LM, one of those AI agents, created this beautiful graphic for this blog, which has 3 pillars, 3 parts, which make my good day happen, right? Vitality, connection, purpose. So vitality. Every day I make sure that I prioritize investing in my health, topping up my energy reserves from trying to and prioritizing good sleep, prioritizing good meals that I know work for me, and a balance based on science and based on research of healthy health maintenance through nutrition, listening to music, spending time outside, right? Connection, engaging with people I care about, whether that's my parents, my friends, a combination of all of them, also my community of like-minded people, clients I do work with. Take time for goofing around as well with them or yourself. That's also part of connection. And then purpose, work that fulfills, that feels purposeful, learning, exploring, making things, connecting to that, I don't know, red thread that makes your life feel like you're on purpose, like you have meaning, like you are important in this life, right? So that is the graphic that Notebook LM created for me to illustrate my blog. But the point is, guys, good feeling, your well-being, it's a result of, it's not random, it's a result of habits and routines that you cultivate. And what I've learned from many multiple resources is that humans are biopsychosocial creatures. Certain things are important for us to feel consistently good. They're not magic. You are like a car, a vehicle. And when you do the right things, when you fill those buckets of vitality or your health, your energy reserves, your cultivating certain mindset and emotional regulation with feeding yourself metaphorically, meaning filling your day with the right things, connecting with the right people that give you energy, doing certain routines that allow your mind and your body and your spirit feel good and meaningful and purposeful. When you do those things consistently, surprisingly, you start feeling well no matter what happens in your life, especially if you work on your mindset and you learn how to take perspective and you learn that there are small things and big things, and we often catastrophize things for no good reason. And things that happen in life, we tell a lot of stories around that. And there is always a good side of the story and the bad side of the story, bad unquote unquote. This the part of the story that makes us feel better, the part of the story that makes us feel not so good. And we are able to choose what to focus on in any given moment. There is always something good you can focus on. There is always something that makes you feel frustrated or agitated or some other, negative feeling that you might carry through the day. It's up to you to choose what you focus on. Your attention is like a spotlight, and all of the things exist at the same time, and you can choose what to focus your spotlight of attention. And where your attention goes, that's what you think, what you feel, and that's how your day unfolds for you, right? For the past 2 or 3 months, since I've gotten really consistent and deliberate about my routines, filling my days with what I know fills my cup mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, socially, something really changed. It seemed like it's here to stay. Like, a strong muscle, if you keep showing up in the gym, it doesn't disappear. If you keep showing up, it keeps on giving. So the same what I'm learning is true for my mental state, for my emotional state, for my physical state, my spiritual state. When I invest things that work for me on a regular basis, things that well-being, that state of content and almost happiness and satisfaction, it stays like a plant that you keep watering, that keeps growing. It's become surprisingly easy for me, guys, to smile and feel good every day. Even when things don't go right, when I get sick, when I get injured, when a client cancels, when a project stalls, when things I wanted to work out don't work out, when I wanted to get a job and I didn't, and when I wasn't good enough, even when those things happen, I am able to lean into all the frustrations and learn from them what I can learn, and lean into things that don't work out and take perspective and say, hey, well, this didn't work out. Maybe it wasn't meant to. And hey, if there is anything you can learn from that, you're going to get another chance. And here's your chance to get better and improve. So the next time the chance comes around, you might be better fit for it. But underneath all of that is that feeling of almost confidence that, hey, everything is actually pretty damn good. And the world is as beautiful as it was a day before, a week before, as it always is. And there is always good you can be grateful for. And also the things that don't work out, that's just how life is. Not everything is supposed to work out. And things, again, there are opportunities to learn. There are opportunities for you to work on your mindset and emotional regulation. But the point is, guys, the world hasn't changed. I have. There is this beautiful quote by Wayne Dyer, who is considered to be a spiritual teacher, but he's also a best-selling author. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. It's kind of like I'm looking outside of my window and the weather is quite gloomy. It's sort of raining, it's very cloudy, not so bright. But it feels very almost romantic and very nourishing and very peaceful. And it's not that the weather is good. A lot of people would look at it and like, oh, really not great weather, and feel frustrated. Whereas I feel almost uplifted because of that. And that is a demonstration of how when you cultivate a certain feeling and mindset in yourself, all the things that you look at will be reflected or looked through those glasses, those lenses that you cultivate inside of yourself. That is what it means. If you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And how do you change the way you look at things? You change yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And I think the biggest change in my habits recently, why I was able to stay that consistent with all of these new habits and stop doing habits that didn't work for me, whether that's mindset habits like catastrophizing things or being attached to things that don't work out, or thinking that, I'm unlucky in some way, or being frustrated or angry or anxious. All of these feelings, I cultivated different mindset and emotional habits through a lot of self-work, CBT techniques, ACT, DBT. I am a certified coach, so I get to learn all of these techniques and practice on myself before I practice it with clients. But the underlying habit or tool, and by the way, this tool is going to be available and linked as a worksheet in the show notes. So pick that up. Feel free to pick it up. It's absolutely free for you. The fundamental habit that allowed me to create more and more of this experience is reflection. So every week, Saturday or Sunday, I go through reflection. And reflection is looking back and asking yourself, sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 3 months, sometimes it's a year. I do reflections every week, every day a little bit, and every 3 months, and every year, half a year, not so much, but every 3 months, yes. When you reflect and you look back at things and ask yourself these questions like, okay, what were my biggest wins? What felt the best? What were my biggest challenges? How did I handle that? How did I look? What can I learn from that? What is my 80-20, 20% of things that bring me 80% of joy or results? And how can I make more of that in my life? And what drained my time the most, or maybe frustrated and created this not sort of not the kind of mental internal state that I want to carry through my day. What drained me energetically and mentally, spiritually, and how can I make less of it happen or change the way I look at those things so they don't bother me anymore? Reflection allows you to understand yourself better and better, and to start expanding things that work for you and shrinking things that don't work for you. And the more you do it, after a certain point, you won't have the things that don't make you feel, and you're going to be carrying this beautiful inner space that no matter what day it is and what happens, you're still going to feel quite amazing inside. And that inside feeling is all that matters when it comes to living a good life. So the reflection worksheet is in the show notes, so something that I do weekly. And for today, what I want you to do is, yes, do the reflection to start understanding yourself better, because that is the biggest change that created this opportunity to feel really good. And I wasn't born like this at all. I went through a lot of mental and emotional struggles. So I know what it is on the other side, and I know what it is to be here, and I know the work that took to be here, feeling almost happy every single day. And again, my life is just full of problems as everyone else's, and I don't have everything figured out, not at all. but the internal state, I'm in control of that, and you are in control of that. And reflection allows you to create more of that state by designing your life, what you do, how you design your calendar, who you connect with, what thoughts you allow in your mind on a regular basis. This reflection practice helps you to cultivate more and more of that, and to shrink what doesn't work for you more and more and more. So the worksheet is in the show notes. Do reflection and then start every week adding something that makes your life feel better, makes you feel better internally, physically, mentally, spiritually. And then at the same time, shrinking more and more things that just don't work for you, for the life experience you want to create. So that is the ongoing practice, and what will allow you to do this ongoing practice and scheduling those 20 minutes of reflection with the worksheet that is in the show notes, scheduling that reflection time on a regular weekly basis, and then see how that one habit will so magically start transforming your life into exactly what you want it to be. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to share this podcast episode with at least one other person who might need to have a little bit joy and fulfillment and happiness that they can have every day. So share this podcast episode, share the worksheet that is linked in the show notes, and please rate, review this podcast, promote it in some way to reach more people, help me reach more people in the world, so we all get a little bit happier because of the work we do every day. So thank you guys for doing this in advance. It means the world to me. And till next time, keep reflecting, keep growing the life that you want to live more of. And yeah, keep getting better and unlocking more of your potential.